Okay, today we will be playing a game as Reinhardt on the Temple of Anubis and a game as Soldier in Oasis, and as you might have guessed from the fact that we're playing two different games, these are two quick play games that are put together because they're both pretty short. Despite one of them being a King of the Hill game, I know, very surprising. So we're just gonna start the game, because of course we don't care what our team comp is, because we're playing quick play, so suffice to say, it's terrible. Because, aren't they always? So, we have a Widowmaker and a Genji running off here as well, as we can see. So, you know, it's a pretty good team comp. So, they've got a Reinhardt and a Junkrat, which is inconvenient. We're playing Soldier, so we're pretty good at breaking shields. So, we are currently standing right out in the open in the middle of nowhere, which is very scary because, well, now we're kind of low, and we can't easily get behind something to get for cover to get out of the way, and then Reinhardt charges at us, which he's not really meant to be doing, but you know how people are. So we should be either standing further back, like in the archway, or we could just like stay more flush with this wall so that we could try and get out of the way if we needed to, because we start taking damage, and we feel kind of committed to staying in the biotic field because we've kind of put it over here, but like, we should have been hanging closer to a wall. So our Widowmaker has miraculously managed to kill their Pharah and their Widowmaker, and Reinhardt didn't actually kill us. This part's gonna feel pretty good, because we kill him, and then we kill him, and then we kill her. It feels pretty good. We didn't really have to put that much work into it. It was pretty good on the Junkrat, because he was relatively high HP. Everyone else, we were just kind of like, oh, that went better than expected. So, now we've gotten control of the point, and we're going to go up onto the high ground, because the high ground's really strong, of course. They do have a Widowmaker, and that's kind of scary. It's scary to be standing up here if they have a Widowmaker, because, well, that happens. We are doing a lot of jumping around up here, which is generally not a great idea. Don't forget Widowmaker's still over there while we're doing this. We hear one of the bullets go right past our head, in fact. So, because we know they have a Widowmaker, it's not really safe to stand up here because there's no cover to use. And ordinarily, yeah, high ground's really good, but Widow can just stand over there, and there's not that much we can do to stop her because we're playing Soldier. We're not very good at fighting snipers as Soldier. So, if they have a Widow, or a Hanzo, I suppose, as well, if they were doing something similar, we should try and stand in our windows instead, because we're still far back, we're still safe, we can still see, like, the entire point, but we can't be threatened by this over there, because that's very scary, because even if the Widowmaker's really bad, as this one is, she doesn't have to hit you that many times. She only has to get you once, and that's it, and there's no cover to use up here. Or you can try and stand, like, more in the doorway and, like, peek out as well. The one on your side of the map, of course. But usually when there's like a Widowmaker, it's better to just stand in your windows so that, well, you don't end up in like this kind of position. We do a lot of jumping around, which is not a great idea when you're fighting a sniper, because crouching and uncrouching and just like strafing back and forth is more disruptive for a sniper because they're actively aiming for your head. And if somebody's paying attention while you're jumping around, it's kind of locked into the arc once you start jumping. So we come back just in time to see Mei get absolutely murdered. And we really want the Reinhardt. Oh god, excuse me. But Reinhardt just runs away in the end. Our Widowmaker is, like, surprisingly decent. She's killed quite a few people. And now we can just sit over here on the window. We start moving into the people that we're shooting at, which is still not, like, the best idea in the world, you know? We end up not killing the Ana before she can get off the nano boost, which is very sad. This is not a very good use of company resources because we know at this point the only two people who are still alive are Ana and Reinhardt. It's amazing the Reinhardt doesn't put his shield down and start swinging, honestly. Like, he's nano boosted and he's not blocking anyone. At that point, he should just walk forward and start trying to shoot people. But this is not a good use of company resources because we know it's just Ana and Reinhardt. We shouldn't need to use Tac Visor for this. So, Ana came up to start teabagging him, but we weren't on the same page, and then things get really awkward really quickly. If someone's, like, down, just line it up with their head. Because we shoot him right in the armpit. Like, go and shoot the dude in the head. Like, line it up with the head. You got all the time in the world. Because every little bit counts, you know? And a headshot is, well, a headshot's more than a little bit, but you get the idea. So we just see that Mei, our, diva, D.Va just killed our Widowmaker with a headshot, which is very sad, of course. Looks like Mei might have actually walled her off, but we'll never know. We'll assume Widowmaker's bad, because that's just standard practice in Overwatch, honestly. So we can see they have a Junkrat still shooting stuff over here. Soldier tries to come up this way and then is like, nope, never mind. It is kind of scary to approach Soldier, or like a McCree, or most people really in this kind of angle, because there's a very narrow window that you can actually approach in through, so it's not that hard to line it up. Also, we don't really want to be walking into the people that we're shooting at still. Like, better to just kind of like hang back and like peek around the corners, because we know he's going to back up into our team anyway. And walking down like a narrow channel like that makes it very easy to get hit. So, now we've gotten control of the point. We're halfway towards having TAC Visor again, which is cool. We shoot the rockets in a little bit early, and we end up not hitting anything with them, but at the same time, we never see anyone for quite a while, so... Because now we can see them, because we've got infrasight. It looks like they're going around the bottom, but then note, they suddenly pivot back up that way. Anna's dead, Soldier's dead, Widowmaker's surprisingly good at the video game for a Widowmaker, you know? On average, especially for one in quick, like, don't forget, this is in quick play. Wow, incredible, isn't it? So, Reinhardt's trying to come up this way. And, oh, starts charging. Very scary. He wasn't allowed to do that, so he got punished for it, but it was still very scary because he did start charging right next to us, but we punched him, and that got him. So Soldier has been using TAC Visor, which is why we're hiding out of the way. So, we think about what to do for a second, but then we make the correct choice to just take the ult charge and run. And there's no way we get out of that. Wow, that D.Va's got gold with 5 stars, damn. She's almost at the max, the maximum flare you can get. So, there was no way we got out of that with our lives, so we take the money and we run, which is the correct play. So, they no longer have a Reinhardt, which is good news for us, because that makes it a lot easier to use TAC Visor. They do have a D.Va, but Defense Matrix got, like, ultra nerfed, so we don't have to be too concerned about it. This is a very scary angle to come up from, because this is the angle that puts you right next to the enemy team most of the time. Which is not what Soldier wants. I don't really recommend going that way as Soldier if you can avoid it ever, but especially not by yourself. So we just saw there Sombra get absolutely murdered as well. Poor Genji dead. It shouldn't really work. Like, we do have to go and fight on the point. Like, this shouldn't really work, but because we're getting healed by our biotic field and Ana, we just barely get away with it. And this is why Nano Visor is really strong, right? Because suddenly we just kill them, and we're too tanky for them to actually kill us and stop the Visor. Very small thing, we did, like, fire our missiles at somebody while we were in TAC Visor. The missiles are generally very bad to use in TAC Visor, because they aren't a hit scan weapon, so you have to, like, lead the shot a little bit, which, TAC Visor cannot do. So the missiles are generally not actually very good to use in TAC Visor unless you're shooting at somebody very close, or someone very big. So, now we are on University, that's the name of this map. And we are doing something, it looks like, and now we're good to go again. So we come up this way and we end up in a fight. We start, like, running straight at these people again. We can, like, hang here and just, like, put the biotic field down and try and shoot at these boys, but, like, we run, like, right into their face and then put the biotic field down to fight. There's no cover there, and we've opted into a 2v1. So, we just end up having to run away and leave the biotic field behind, which is, of course, very sad. It's honestly, like, I don't even really like going up here, because I find that, like, even if you get to just sit in these windows uncontested, the line of sight isn't that great. Like, you try and see someone, but if they get too far in either direction, you just, like, can't see them anymore. You, like, can't see over the walls. It's really easy to get flanked. Like, I just don't even like going up there, honestly. I prefer to just hang out by the doors. So, most of their team is actually dead now. It's only Soldier and, oh no, Genji's still alive as well, it looks like. It's only Soldier and, Winston, that's his name, there we go. Genji's also here, and We are choosing to, like, fight on the point, which is scary as soldier. We've also sort of walking into the people that we're shooting at again here. Start like, no, don't want to do that. We can just be, like, hanging out by the doorway, like, the gap in between at the start of the point, and, like, do exactly what we're doing now, but be in a safer position, especially since that's where our Arissa was standing as well. You don't want to be the front line as soldier, you know? You want to be really far back. And we end up getting killed by the missile barrage, which is really sad. We're just standing way too close to people. So, let's just skip forward a bit. That's going to be too far. There we go. So we've almost got TAC Visor built up. We are fighting Winston right now. Winston by himself cannot kill us in Biotic Field. However, we were getting shot at by somebody else. So, this is the point where you would run away because somebody else is still here shooting at us, and them plus Winston will kill you through Biotic Field. Fortunately, May kills the person that was shooting at us, and we had Anna here to help us as well. This is not a very good use of company resources because the only two people who are still here are Winston in Primal Rage and Soldier. We shouldn't need it to kill Winston, and Soldier is almost by himself. Like, we had the huge numbers advantage. We shouldn't have needed to use TAC Visor for that one. So we are now getting into this scuffle with Genji. I would not advise getting into a scuffle with Genji if you don't have your Biotic Field up. Unless you hit him with the Helix Rocket, like, dead on, in which case it's easy money. But Genji's hard to hit, and can kill you relatively quickly, so if you don't have Biotic Field, it can be quite scary to fight a Genji. So we have heard Soldier start using TAC Visor, but he got murdered by Helix Rockets from Genji. And then Genji killed himself, so, you know, visual storytelling is pretty cool, you know? So we've been boosted. We don't have Nano Visor we don't have TAC Visor to use right now. Even if we did, it wouldn't be a great time to use it because Transcendence was also happening at the same time. So even if we had TAC Visor, we wouldn't want to use it in that position because Transcendence was happening, which is unfortunately going to make us very sad. Nanoblade can just about kill someone through Transcendence if you, like, cut and dash quickly enough. It is just barely enough damage to actually kill someone. Nano Visor doesn't quite have that going on. So we use it here, which is, like, fair enough targets. Like, the enemy team is in a pretty decent position to use it on, but, like, you gotta think about your own team as well. We're basically by ourselves. Like, Genji's the only person here with us, and we're ulting on the point. And, we just start getting focused down and killed. You can't use TAC Visor when you're by yourself, because it's way easy for, like, 6 people to just focus you down, even if you're using TAC Visor, unless they were doing something absolutely ridiculous at the time. But, any play that relies on the enemy team being bad is generally going to be a pretty bad play. So, we get back in time to take part in the fight that we're still winning anyway, and we win the round. Great, let's watch the play of the game before we switch over to the other game. It was a Genji named Combat. Cancel the reload like 8 times, great. Stellar, absolutely fantastic, brilliant play. So now let's perform the video swap, and now we're on Anubis. You can see, this is why I decided to just put these 2 games together. Collectively, they add up to, like, 1 average game, you know? So, we're playing Reinhardt. Spoiler warning, they don't even capture the first point, so we're not going to be here for too long. This is too long because that guy's loud. This is too loud because that guy's too loud. There we go. What a good sentence that was. Man, the English language is so easy to master, honestly. So, they're kind of splitting up, it looks like, because there's a little bit of indecision on which way they want to go. May wants to go right, but most of them want to go left, so now there's this weird, like, divergence happening. Good use of rear view mirrors on Reinhardt, which I wanted them for so long, but when I do play Reinhardt on the rare occasion these days, because honestly Winston is just usually better, I always forget that they're there. So we have ended up accidentally killing someone. This is not allowed. This is not a good use of, this is not a good play to make because it's hard to pin a diva doing that, but also, like, we're charging out of the choke point, which is not allowed. Never allowed. Not ever. Fortunately, most of the enemy team is, like, dead or otherwise indisposed, so we don't get punished for it, but we should get punished for it. It's not actually a legal maneuver to do that. There's a few charges in this game that are not a legal maneuver. So we're waiting for everyone to regroup. We could have just been standing over here with our shield up this time, but, you know, whatever. Nothing has actually been happening anyway. Junkrat didn't quite kill anyone with a tire, which is a rare day. How often do you see the tire actually get broken these days? Not that often. Which is, you know, Junkrat's ult is a little bit too consistent for my liking, for an ability that you can build up so frequently, and is just, like, guaranteed to kill 1 or 2 people in most cases. And then, you know, he's just got it 30 seconds later. I'm really tired of hearing fire in the hole when, like, the point is still locked. You know what I mean? You know? You know? You know. You know. So, someone stepped on a trap over there. Unfortunately, there's not that much we can do to help with that situation. So, our team, like, jumps off the high ground right now. So, we end up standing up here by ourselves, not actually blocking any damage. So, Junkrat's still up here with us, but Junkrat also doesn't need to look at the enemy team. So, since they're going in, you got 2 options. You can just take the shield down, because the enemy team is probably not going to be shooting at you right now, so you can just have it be recharging. Or you can jump down there and start blocking for the people who are going in. Because we're not really doing very much standing up here with our shield up right now, and, like, our team's starting to fight down there. Some of them are coming around over this way, but, like, this side isn't going any better for them, really. Not blocking in for anything right now. Their shield could just be down during this entire period, because we aren't really blocking anything or for anybody either. We only missed, like, 100 HP off our shield, so it's not the end of the world. But sometimes it's the end of the world. Today was not the day, it was the end of the world. So, they're just kinda getting wrecked over there. They just got shot in the back by a Mei, and we're like, what the fuck? And then we get killed by that. That's unfortunate, but Mercy's in the game, right? So, don't have to worry about it. Just trade an ult for a basic ability. Hoo-hoo! Fair game. So, there's a Mei behind us. Did Mei get killed, actually? I wasn't actually looking at the kill feed. No, Mei's still alive right now. Okay. So, she's back there somewhere, which is, you know, inconvenient, but not much we can do about that as, Reinhardt. We aren't, again, not really blocking anything right now, because our team kind of ends up splitting off from us. Also, this is just a diva on the low ground shooting up at us, which is not the end of the world either. So here comes Tracer. You can smack the Tracer in this position, because you're not blocking anything, and the Tracer's just going to start blinking around you trying to do damage. You can just, like, take the shield down and swing at her. And then when you feel it make contact, you can put the shield up again, and then you can do some sick animation canceling. Like, don't be afraid to just smack the Tracer who's walking past you like that, provided you don't, like, urgently need to be holding the shield up against something, you know. So this shouldn't work, but it does work, and it feels really good because it did work, as you might have guessed by the cackling that happened right there, if you can hear it, because sometimes the volume's kind of weird. So, feels good, man. It's not very often you get to do that as Reinhardt anymore. Goddamn, feels good. So here's their Zarya. There's no point swinging at this lady anymore, because we're not going to kill her, because there's a Mercy in the sky using Valkyrie. At this point, we should just be blocking again, because we're getting low, we're getting shot at, we're not going to kill that lady, because she's got a Mercy attached to her. You know how it is. So, you can start doing some of the, like, shield kiting right here, because she is going to come up on you, so you can start, like, doing the hop back shield kiting thing. We do pin her right here. This is the textbook way to use charge, especially on defense, where Diva oversteps her boundaries. So we charge very short distance, pin her right against the wall. This would, in most cases, cause Diva to lose her mech, but unfortunately she can just leave, and Mercy's still up in the sky, you know, playing Mercy, so she gets away. But we still get the ult charge off of pinning somebody to a wall, so it's good either way. That's like the time to use charge. And like the only time realistically to use charge. Like, you know, people should charge like 80% less, you know, like no lie. This is not a good time to use charge, because, well, we're probably anticipating that Diva's gonna run in the way, or Zarya's gonna come back over the other way. But it ends up not actually happening, so we end up not really doing much, but we can't get punished for it. So we're shouting for, like, Mercy to come back, because we've got it, but she doesn't come back. She survives anyway, so it doesn't matter. Caught a glimpse of McCree going in over there. We called it out that McCree's over there. Tracer's over here doing this. This is not a good idea. It works, like, again, like, somehow. Where did we even get her? Oh, damn. Wait, but she's not there. Because, like, she reappears right there. I guess we just can't see her past Reinhardt. It doesn't look like we actually even pinned her. I was quite surprised to see that. So McCree's using High Noon. McCree did kill Junkrat, but it's okay. Mercy's still in the game, so don't have to worry about it. Fair times. This is not a great use of company resources, because we only hit McCree with it, and then unfortunately he gets to live because of that. He dies in the end. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. I knew it. Always right, 100% of the time, except for the times that I'm wrong. This is not a great idea either, because, like, the May's got all the warning in the world that we're coming. That's never gonna work. The Earth Shatter was bad, though, because, like, we're using it near a lot of corners, where Earth Shatter is generally quite inconsistent anyway. But Mercy went out of line of sight. There's no way the Mercy comes back into line of sight unless she's really terrible, but as we just covered earlier, a play that revolves around them being bad is a bad play. So it's only really going to hit McCree, and that's not a good use of company resources. So we do an excellent job of trying to keep Mercy alive right here, because she manages to get out of that one, and then she gets to actually use Valkyrie and fly away, and we try to block for her, but we can't quite pull it off before she dies. Very unfortunate, but we tried. We tried our best. She lived longer than she should have really gotten to. So, fight not exactly going, terribly, but not exactly going super well, either. We end up getting killed. But, we have a Symmetra. This guy uses his ult, like, really, this is, like, really sad, because he's got the world in the palm of his hands right now. Like, he's calling out that he's got it building up, and he decides he's not going to use it immediately, and we're like, oh, okay. If he just aims it, like, there, he pinged, or, like, just, like, shoots it more at his feet, he pulls this Mercy down, and we kill her in the Valkyrie. But, unfortunately, no, not to be. He ends up only catching the Mei with it, who ends up, you know, being Mei. So, not much comes of that one. It's okay, though, we got a Symmetra. We can come back and start fighting again. And look at that, the fight's still going well anyway. Not a super likely charge to work out, but also, like, no way we get punished for it, and we might as well give it a go anyway, because at least we get over there quicker, and we end up winning the game. We miss the McCree. Light low, we win the game. Don't worry about it. McCree's dead over there. Nobody else gets over to the point in time. Hooray! We've won. So, and someone was like, why can't I get this, this communication in my, comp matches? Yeah, very sad. I don't care about communication that much, honestly, but, you know. Stellar play. I like how it, half of it was actually just for putting turrets up. Cool. Fair. Very high skill play. Oh, yes, golf clap, golf clap, golf clap. So, things that stand out. Reinhardt, we charged too much, which will come as no great surprise, because that was basically what you expected me to say when you sent the email, it sounded like, from what it said in the email. As Soldier, we stand too far up. We are advancing into the people we're shooting at. We don't respect that Widowmaker could one-shot us, and we could just fall back out of the way. But basically standing too aggressively, or just, like, not standing near things we can use as cover. Positioning, broadly, is what I'm gonna say. Yo, what's up, cat? Good talk, buddy. So, positioning, broadly, standing too aggressively. Common thing for people who, usually play tanks. As soon as they start playing a role that isn't a tank, they start standing in places they aren't really meant to be standing at. Isn't that right, my friend? Good talk, buddy, good talk. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.